What lurks in our darkest corners, silently watching, infinitely unnerving? The phenomenon known as shadow people may evoke a deep-seated fear, a mystery that transcends cultures and centuries, with countless individuals sharing eerily similar experiences. The shadow people, human figures made solely of darkness, appearing in the corners of the room, in silent hallways, or at the edge of vision. They have no defined face, do not reflect light, and seem more like an absence than a physical presence. Still, thousands of people around the world claim to have seen them with absolute clarity. Reports of shadow people traverse cultures, eras, and beliefs. Many describe the same experience. A human-shaped shadow suddenly appears, motionless, or slowly gliding through the environment. Sometimes it stands still, watching. At other times, it crosses the room and disappears through the wall, the door, or simply dissolves into the air. There is no sound, no warning, just the unsettling certainty that something was there. Most encounters occur at night, especially during altered states of consciousness, such as sudden awakening, sleep paralysis, or moments of extreme fatigue. In these situations, fear is immediate and intense. People report feelings of being watched, pressure in the chest, a racing heart, and a deep conviction that the shadow is not a product of imagination. The most disturbing aspect is the almost perfect human shape. Head, torso, arms, and legs are clearly defined, but there are no details. No face, no expression. Just a dark outline, darker than the surrounding environment. Some accounts mention glowing eyes, usually white or reddish, while others state that the figure has no visible eyes, just a void where they should be. Different types of shadow people are described. Some seem neutral, silent observers that do not show direct hostility. Others are associated with an intense feeling of malevolence, as if they emanate something negative. There are also those who wear hats, cloaks, or appear in specific shapes, reinforcing the idea that it is not a single entity, but a broader phenomenon. Not all encounters are linked to sleep. Some people claim to have seen shadow people while fully awake, in low light during cloudy days or enclosed environments. In these situations, the experience is often brief but extremely striking. The shadow appears for seconds and disappears, leaving the person paralyzed in shock. Explanations vary. For science, the phenomenon may relate to temporary brain malfunctions in interpreting visual stimuli, especially under stress, sleep deprivation, or anxiety. Peripheral vision, in particular, is prone to creating human shapes from shadows and subtle movements. Still, this explanation does not convince those who have directly experienced it. There are also spiritual and supernatural interpretations. Some believe that shadow people are entities from other dimensions, observers that coexist with us without being fully visible. Others claim they are manifestations of negative energy, spirits, or consciousnesses that feed on human fear. In certain traditions, they are seen as omens or silent warnings. The fear caused by shadow people does not stem from attacks or explicit violence. It arises from their presence, from the feeling of being observed, from the breach of the safety of the familiar environment. A room ceases to be just a room. A hallway ceases to be just a passageway. Everything becomes territory of the unknown. What is most unsettling is that many people describe repeated encounters throughout their lives. It is not a unique event. The shadow appears, disappears, and months or years later, returns. Always the same, always silent, always leaving the same unanswered question. In the end, shadow people remain one of the most persistent mysteries of the modern imagination. They do not have a single story, lack a defined origin, and do not offer explanations. They are seen, felt, and remembered, but never completely understood. And perhaps that is exactly what makes them so frightening. They do not need to speak. They do not need to touch. It is enough for them to be there, at the edge of the light, reminding us that not everything that observes us needs to be seen clearly to be real. What you saw is only part of the story. To stay up to date on upcoming facts, mysteries, and revelations, like, subscribe, and follow our channel.